themselves. But how did history record the verdict? Were the British soldiers justified in firing on the crowd? Captain Preston and the 8 enlisted men were charged with murder. A guilty verdict would mean a death sentence. Founding Father John Adams defended the British, even though he was an avowed patriot. After enduring 2 of the longest trials in colonial history, Adams got full acquittals for Captain Preston and all but 2 of the soldiers. Privates Matthew Kilroy and Hugh Montgomery were convicted of manslaughter.
Preston was acquitted because there was certainly room for a jury, a reasonable jury, to conclude that there's conflicting evidence here. With respect to the soldiers, the question there seemed to become, were these soldiers acting in self-defense? Could a reasonable person fear for his life or fear serious physical injury under those circumstances? So Adams was able to convince the jury that there wasn't sufficient evidence with respect to 6 of them, and with respect to the other 2 that there was severe provocation and that a reasonable person would have used deadly force to protect himself.
Ironically, Adams won Captain Preston's acquittal not by the weight of evidence, but by skillful legal maneuvering. He outwitted the prosecution by selecting a jury full of loyalists who would vote to acquit no matter what.
The defense was careful in the way that a modern attorney would be today in terms of jury selection. They had assistants who looked at the background of each of the jurors, and so they used those challenges wisely and came up with a panel that they had a great deal of confidence in.
To this day, the Boston Massacre remains a controversial issue. Experts can still look at the same evidence and reach different conclusions. Was the Boston Massacre really a massacre or a riot? Was it murder or self-defense? Our investigation suggests a far more complex series of events than anyone at the time could have considered.
History is pretty interesting.